Okay, so I was unhappy with like the clarity, like you couldn't really tell what I was achieving with the gel press, so I'm going to go ahead on some nice white crisp paper with some dark ink so you can really see the contrast, so you can see the full effect of what I'm doing here. So I grabbed a few fun stamps and I'm just going to experiment. This is not a project by any means, but it will give you more clarity and you'll be able to see some of the things you can achieve with the gel press. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a chicken here. And I drew a line kind of like simulating like where the center of my project would be if this were an actual true project. There's my regular stamp impression of my chicken. This time I'm going to go ahead and spray up my chicken really well. So this is the first generation stamp. This is terms I've learned from the IOD sisters. And technically, by the time it gets on the piece of paper, it's going to be a second generation stamp. So here we go. I'm stamping on my gel press, which is here, it would be the first generation. Pull that off nicely. And I'm going to try to line my chicken up so it's equal distance from my line and standing at the same height. And it's not going to be perfect, but I'm okay with approximate. So let's see if our ink is even on both sides, because that's the only thing you really have to worry about other than placement. Okay, so it's a little more crisp here. So if you want to try an experiment, maybe stamp your regular stamp on a piece of paper somewhere else and just discard that, so that maybe the ink would be more even on both sides if you are picky about that. But honestly, if this is on a wood piece and you just stress it afterwards, like perfect, no problems there. Here's an example of something else you could do. I'm just going to put ink on half of my flower, and I'm going to line where I put the ink on the stamp with my straight line, straight edge here, and reload my stamp. Then I'm going to line up with the free edge on my gel press. And then I'm going to use the free edge on my gel press. There I've Frankensteined a stamp. And I was hearing some talk on the IOD tribe about orchids. This is kind of similar to an orchid. What else can you do? I got some leaves. Stamp that down there. And we got a little garland now. I mean, you could add some flowers to that. Lots of fun there too. With the branches from the new IOD branch set, you can make kind of some little antlers. Ooh, my branches are gonna go off the page. There. And this is why you clean off your gel press properly when you're working. Another thing you could do, let's go ahead and try something a little crazy here. Say you don't have a gel press. Let's see if this will work. This is why you don't spray on your project that you're working on. Okay, let's stamp it. Not on our gel press, but on the back of an IOD stamp. Let's see if that transfers. Not as well, but I think you could play and have some fun just using your own stamps to transfer the images. And if you like doing that, then you could go out and invest in the gel press.